Hi everyone, my name's Tomorrow, and I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. And tomorrow is when we have Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto's going to stay there for just under 20 years. This is absolutely huge. Do you know, for the last couple of hours, I've been pottering around doing things, but so excited about what I was going to talk about that I was kind of putting off doing it because it's so important. It's the most important transit that any of us alive now will ever go through, because this is the real deal. This is where we get released for the next 20 years from the bondage of Saturn and the old laws, the old rules, the old campaign, the old setup. And there were setups all over the world to cause us to hold on to the old regimes. And the regimes we're talking about is not only, like, I'm from the UK and it's time the royalty went, but they're not quite getting it yet, I don't think. Or it seems like illness is taking over to actually help them to get it. But that's only one regime, isn't it? We have the armies, we have the corporations, we have the governments that are not run for the will of the people. They're run as governments which don't take into the real view of the people on the ground, the people living out this life. So this is the end of that for the next 20 years. And I'm going to be really brutal with this in telling the truth that I know. Do you know, this point in time is something I've been waiting for years. And my intention was that I am going to be a part of this. So in my 76th year, I get to see it. And I am as healthy now as when I was like 40. So I have no problems with staying on the earth for this revolution. And it's more than a revolution, because revolutions like go round in a revolving circle. And this is more a renaissance. This is the time when anything and everything is going to change if we allow it to do so. And also, if we allow all of the Saturnian views, ideas, rules, legislations to come up for review or to be put aside when we know they really do need to be put aside. So this isn't something simple, but the Aquarian age is a choice. It's not a given. And I heard somebody say that the other day, and it really hit home for me to be able to explain this, that if you do not reach up now for the higher consciousness so that you can change, it won't be a given for you, because you are embedded with the old Saturnian ways since you were born. Everybody born now onto this planet was born within the Saturnian energies that went on for generation after generation. Also to do with the church, remember that's part of that Saturnian authority, which wasn't anything to do with what the Nazarene said. Like if you go back and look at some of the things that he actually said and also criticized the authority, don't ever tell people that you're here and that you are standing under Jesus or the Nazarene if you're still going by church authority, because church authority did not stand with the Nazarene. They saw him as a rebel. He got killed for being who he was and trying to overturn the Saturnian rules that were around that had nothing to do with having the God consciousness inside of us. It still doesn't. And that's so sad that so many people still stand under a church of some kind. And we were never meant to do that. And the Nazarene told us over and over. I love the real teachings of the Nazarene, and you need to read the books that weren't allowed in the Bible to understand that. But we are now in that Aquarius age where we can be those unique individuals who pull on all that strength from above and come with the unique wisdom that we can gain by doing that. Like when you close your eyes and you go beyond your thoughts and you reach for the wisdom from the higher echelons of our dimensions here, you will be in peace. You will start to gain mastery of the mind that keeps churning over all those Saturnian belief systems that you think we should live by. You're going to be blissed out if you start to meditate and actually, really key into who you really are beyond this physical 3D dimension. And this is what the Pluto in Aquarius is about, and us really getting a handle on moving in fully to the Aquarian age. We do it as individuals, not as huge groups or authoritarian powers or churches. It has nothing whatsoever to do with that. And you need to look further. Have a look at a guy who was speaking 10 years ago. I caught one of his videos today, actually. A guy called William Donahue, who talks about, what Uranus, who rules over Aquarius, really is. Because Uranus is the energy. Remember, these are when planetary changes occur, and they're occurring different transits and all sorts every month, every week. There are changes going on. But when there's huge, powerful ones, like the movement into Aquarius now, there is a totally different vibration that we are receiving through the ethers. In the energy that we're receiving, we operate on energy. The only difference between a dead body and a live body is the energy. And now we're being fed by a different energy. And it's coming in on a wave of Uranus, who rules Aquarius. Okay? And Uranus energy is the opposite to Saturn. It's about our uniqueness, our individuality. It is about variety, the difference, the innovation of thought that we can have, the innovation of action that we can have. This is going back to the real truths of the Nazarene, who said do the forgiveness 7 times 70 and turn the other cheek. How many people who are Christians do that? Most of the Christians I know who actually may go to a church occasionally or call themselves Christians and actually think there is an authority over them, they are really, in alignment with war all over the world. And that's nothing to do with the Nazarene. So we have a real crazy situation on our planet now, which is about to be sorted out, because not only are we under the energy of Uranus, but we are being stirred up with Pluto going into Aquarius for 20 years to show us the real truth, to expose everything about the lies that people have been taught to live under. We are not here to live under anything except live with our human technology, which enable us to open up the crown chakra, to open up our hearts and to key into our higher presence, which is the God consciousness, which will take us through to the Aquarian age, which is equality and freedom. Some astrologers are just talking about AI and technology. If we go back through the ages when all of the people understood, even including the kings who were in power at that time, who got all of their guidance from astrologers. Remember that? The wise men, they were called, who watched the planets and knew the different vibrations and energies coming in. And now what happens? People have no understanding. It's been wiped out by defunct Saturnian beliefs. So now this Aquarian age is about freedom and equality. And when astrologers keep talking about the AI, what I was going to say there was those old astrologers weren't on about AI when they gave the king's guidance. They were telling them about this innovative energy that comes in and helps us to change everything and go back to how we really can operate within this human form. And this is the time now, because we're coming to the end of this evolution of humanity and the collective. So this is the time for the next 20 years when we have to grab hold of that wholly, completely for ourselves and become those unique, amazing energies that we can be. Don't take it lightly. Go and do some research yourselves. Look up the old myths of Uranus and understand that Uranus was said to be it was like the husband of Gaia, the earth, and the husband was God. They saw it as God, Uranus. They saw it as the purest energy. And there's a whole myth. I'm not going to go into all the details, although I did watch it today and it's fascinating because we know that what we call myths is the truth that was here on Earth way before we came into this lifetime. So have fun with this, but grab it completely for yourself. But first you must understand and comprehend and stand under Uranus. Don't stand under any authorities that you have no idea whether they're honest or not. Don't do that. Understand and stand under the Uranus energy and take it for yourself. Take time now to meditate and connect with the higher energies every day so that we can bring in complete freedom and equality. People have been saying to me, and I go back here to my early 20s when I was always talking about this as the dream of equality and freedom. I had it in my blood. It was in my bones. And I never stopped talking about it. And I have never stopped talking about it. And I'm never going to. Because this is what we stand under, nothing else. We stand under our human technology to be able to connect to our God consciousness and bring it through now. Comment with what you think, comment if you've read any of William or watched William Donahue. I would say to you, he has so much wisdom and understanding. Maybe he's not still with us on this planet now. I don't know. What I saw was from 10 years ago, but it was great to be able to add that information, some of it anyway, but there is a lot of it, to get you to see the real truth of who you are and who everybody before you that came was too, and how every time it's influenced by the planetary energies, because we're only energy. Okay, I would love you to like this video, but maybe it's a bit controversial for some people who still stand under Saturn, and I refuse that. With the knowledge that I have, with the knowledge that I came through with, I could never do that. So like the video if you like what I'm putting out here, and give us a comment about what your future holds for you now that you are beginning to understand the power of this Uranus energy within the Aquarius that we're moved and Pluto has moved into, and that we're now standing under because we choose to, not because we have to. Remember, the Aquarian age is not a given. You have to choose it. Otherwise, you will be being hit by an energy that is asking you to change hugely. And if you don't want to do that and you don't see the point, there's going to be a hard time coming. I do know that. Thank you for listening.